Okay, those chickens that me and my brother got are still over at his place. And I need to get them back here. And I really don't have time right now to make the coop that I want to make. So I'm going to use this for now. And this will work fine. But I was going to explain with this. Years ago, Menards used to have this like bargain area out in their yard. And anything that was slightly damaged or an odd size and stuff would end up in a bargain area, like roofing tin and stuff. And I used to go in there and buy all this stuff. You could get it cheap. So I keep buying up, buying up. And when I got enough of it together, I would make some project with it. And that's what this was. It's all out of the stuff out of the bargain area, except for the tin that is on the roof, on the sides. That you could still buy. It's just a basic galvanized tin. Small rib, but it's 2 foot wide, and like 8 feet long, and I think they sell for like $20. But it's a very useful material. But I decided, I had run across one time a bunch of these brackets. It was called, well, they're from the Frame Up company. They were called Frame Up, okay? And you could make they were designed to make a 6x6 greenhouse. 2x2s, plastic, and that would make a greenhouse. Well, I used these to make the 2x2 frame, and then it's a little bit reinforced. But I made it on a platform out of treated wood that was out of that, bargain area. And I had it on skids. The two outsides are heavier, thicker 2x8s, so I could slide it around wherever I needed. I'd use it kind of as a portable tool shed. Well, I haven't used it for that for years, and it's got junk in it I'm going to have to clean out to get the chickens in there. But I built the thing very cheaply, and it's been really handy. But I used to have a couple of tow hooks on the front, and it had settled into the ground, and when I tried to pull it, just broke them. So I had to throw the chain around it and lift it with my 3-point. But that'll work fine for the chickens. I don't know if Menards still has it, but it used to be really handy. I'd buy up stuff. My whole garage is really built out of the odds and ends. Like say, like tin roofing, it used to come, bundles of it, but then the outside sheets always got a little scratched or a little dented. Well, they'd sell them, the cover sheets, very cheaply. So I was always buying that stuff up. But now I got to modify it to serve as a chicken coop if I figure out exactly where I'm going to position this. And I got the chicken wire, but them chickens are getting big, so I got to get them home. So I needed something. Eventually, I do have a different idea. I want to build a chicken coop, but I don't want to have to rush that project. If I can get that done by winter, it would be great. But for now, this will work perfectly fine once I figure out how I want to do this. And then I got to take all the stuff. There's stuff in there. I might run across more of these. Actually, it would be kind of nice because these do make a very easy, cheap greenhouse. And at one time I had bought, I must have had 10 boxes of these. They were some bargain deal. They were just selling off. They make a similar design thing out of tin, which would be pretty good, that are designed to use 2x4s that you can build like a garden shed with these bracket kind of things. I've never tried that, but the concept is good, and it has held up all these years, because I've had this for a long time, and it's been drug around for a lot of different places. But the chicken should be happy in there, and I've kind of got her in an area where it's shaded, so the chickens don't get cooked. And I think I've got some louvers that I can put on. I'll put them on the back side. Because the front and back are just made out of this chipboard. But then there is chipboard under the tin too, on up to about that high. But it's all stuff that was the bargain area stuff, and I get a big pile of that, and I look at it and say, oh, okay, I can do this with it, and that's what I did. This has been handy though over the years, and weatherproof. You know, the tin is really meant to run the ribs the other way, but this gave me that 8 foot. You know, so I steamed it all out very carefully and made good use of it, and it's worked very well all these years. And I do like that tin, particularly. You know, like I'm building another building over here, and I'm going to use that tin because it's nice if you're using a rain barrel, you know, like to catch the water that runs off the roof like we had. Well, it must have been a couple inches of rain yesterday. Well, if you can catch that rain to use it for washing clothes, you know, that'd be handy. And if you've got, that's what, like they used to use copper on roofs to catch the water. The copper was a good material, you know, but regular galvanized iron works fine. And relatively cheap. And easier to work with than, you know, the high rib roofing. This stuff, it's small ribs. It's a little easier, a little more forgiving. They used to use it on everything. This old galvanized stuff used to be on every old building. I'd like to run across, you know, they used to, years ago, made the galvanized siding that was embossed with a brick pattern. Now, I don't know if anybody makes that anymore, but that was kind of cool. But I remember old bars and stuff being covered with that, you know, on the outside. But the only place, you know, it takes a long time for that stuff to go bad. I know they use it a lot, like in desert areas. Then it can get bad. It can rust because the sand blowing can run the galvanizing off. But I've had this, oh God, it's got to be probably 40 years, and there's not a sign of rust on it. But using the tin the wrong way, I have silicone on every nail. But this is going to be interesting to see what I got in there, because I know there's a lot of old computer stuff in there. I think there's one whole complete old loom in there. You know, so I got to dig it all out of there. Make room for the chickens. They'll be happy to be home. It'll be good to have them here.